Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Shagra Jatam Shahupana Raghunathan Nitam Tam Shajivam Shabdaitam Shabadhutam Purijana Shahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Shahagana Lolita Sri Vishakhan Nitanscha Bhakthe Vitanute Bhakting Murkha Mavartayat Fruting Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Prana Gopalaham Prabhum. Join Nitai. Hope you all are well and you are doing well in your spiritual life and you are safe from the situation. Pray for the world and keep the norms of social distancing and stay well. I want to share one joke at first. In Bengali lecture I was saying that I just want to share it with you. That is, one person was taking the holy name of Lord Krishna very loudly. So another person who has no respect to the holy name, that person was saying, "No, you are calling your Lord so loudly. If he calls you, then what will you do?" Do you know? To get the calling of God, who has no respect to the holy name, such person can say many things. But yes, you should take the holy name very loudly. Namacharya Haridas Thakur, he used to take 300,000 Harinam. So 100,000 he used to do Harinam very loudly for all, for the insects, for the animals, birds, trees, for the world. And the instructions, Suryatam, Suryatam, Nityam, Giyatang, Muda, Chintatang, Bhaktya, Sri Hari Kathamritam. One should think about holy name and the pastime of Lord Krishna. One should do kirtan, holy name and the pastime of Lord Krishna very loudly. One should listen the holy name and the pastime of Lord Krishna. This is a duty. So we should do this. So on the very beginning, I got the question, what should we do? That somebody was saying like this, what should we do? We should do. I mean, it is upon you. You are completely free to chant Harinam. If you want to do Harinam loudly, please do this. If you want to do Harinam in normal volume, please do this. or if you want to do Harinam from your mind, please do this. Anyhow, if you making contact with Harinam, then this will give you something very great, something great result will be waiting for you. So we should be connected to Harinam, always. Now we are coming to the question. Yesterday, I was answering one question that in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, I think we don't need to read the question again. Just we were talking about the Shraddha. Ado Shraddha tata sadhu sango bhajana kriya tatha anartha nivrittisyat tato nishtha ruchistata athashaktistatha bhavastato premaprudanchati sadhako namayam premnaha pradurбhave bhavat krama. So the first stage of devotional practice is Shraddha. Shraddha means to have undoubtful faith or realization that all are truth, whatever described in the scriptures, all are truth. Whatever promises done by Lord Krishna, all are truth. The glories described by devotees, all are truth. And if I worship Lord Krishna, if I surrender myself to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, then all the work will be fulfilled. This is called Shraddha. Now related to that question, I have got some questions. One is from Bangladesh. Jishnu Das, he asked me, if somebody get the devotion by causeless mercy. Yesterday I was saying that I told about causeless mercy. I mean the mercy which has no reason. Before practicing devotion, then do they pass anartha nivritti automatically, or he still have to chance to fall? Yes, that person will be pass anartha nivritti. I would like to give you one example of Namdev. Namdev was not a very great person in material life. He was sinful. I don't want to describe all those. Once, he was in a temple, and one very little boy was crying very loudly. Very little child I would say. And then he got annoyed, and at first he instructed, just stop it. But it was a child who has no idea about Namdev or something like this. Then after some time, he shouted, "Kill you, I shall kill you." Then one person from others in the temple, one person replied, "Listen, what will you kill? What will you do? This child lose everything." Namdev destroyed, killed his family. Then Namdev, he got struck from his mind. Oof, he started to feel very uneasy. He was not getting peace of mind. He was just walking. Then, at the end of the day, when sun was going to west, sun was going to set down, then on the road, Namdev saw that from this big red sun, one person was walking towards him. And Namdev saw the person from the red sun. He got astonished. He was seeing the person. When the person came to close, then Namdev could listen. Vittalnath, 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 Vittalava, 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 Vittalava. It was Santa Tukara, the Siddha Mahatma Tukara. Namdev mesmerized listening that kirtan. When the person came close and called Namdev, hey, you are in very unpeaceful situation. Come with me. Namdev followed Santa Tukara. Following that person, Namdev entered in a very little cottage. This was the kutir of Santa Tukara. And at that very time, Santa Tukara gave him Diksha. And just after getting Diksha, Namdev started to cry. He was full of eternal love for Lord Krishna. Vittalnath is Lord Krishna himself. And he started to cry. Vittalnath, Vittalnath, Vittalva, 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 Vittalva. Tukaram was also singing the holy name of Krishna, and Namdev was also following him in singing with the holy name of Krishna, and both were crying, feeling the eternal peace of night. Yes, when this devotees gives, then they used to give the highest. If Lord Krishna gives, he used to give the highest. This is called causeless. This is a causeless blessings. Yes, that person will be, at the very moment, that person will be free from all anarthas, and there is no chance to come again in the material desire. And another question I have got from Kanu, my beloved Kanu from Chile. How can I increase my eagerness for bhajan? Very nice question. Is it possible by one's action to increase eagerness, or is only by kripa? How can I increase my eagerness for bhajan? Very nice question. Very nice question. तत्तत् भावादि माधुर्ये श्रुते धीर जदपेक्षते नात्र शास्त्रं न युक्तिं च तल्लभक्ति लक्षणम. Our Rupa Goswami, he already replied with the answer. तत्तत् भावादि माधुर्ये श्रुते धीर जदपेक्षते. You are listening about Lord Krishna. You are listening that Lord Krishna is playing in the Vrindavan with his friends. Lord Krishna is breaking the clay pots of Yashoda Jashodama, which clay pots were full of curd and butter like this. And he is doing very nice lila. You are listening that Lord Krishna is so full of love for his devotees that he was dealing so sweetly. He had been so sweet with his devotees, with sages, saints, common general people, the grihis, grihastas. You are listening. Krishna, he had been so nice with his gopis. He was sitting close to the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, and he prayed, Smaragara Lakhandanam Mamashirashi Mandanam Dehi Padapallavamudanam. Lord Krishna is praying that, O Radhe, please give your lotus feet on my head. Dehi Padapallavamudanam. And Lord Krishna is praying for the mercy of Radharani. He did a mistake. Tattat bhavadi madhukya sruti dhir jadavishwati. Listening all this, then one person is getting eagerness to be like Jashodananda, to be like Siddham Shudam, to be like Sakhis, to be like devotees, to be like servants of Lord Krishna. Natra shastram najuktincha. Natra shastram najuktincha. There is, I don't want to know whatever said in Shastra. I just want to be like Nanda or Jashoda. Shastra is saying you are unqualified. Shastra is saying you have no devotion. Shastra is saying you are very much materialistic. No, I don't want to listen to anything. I just want Krishna. Tallabhutpatti lakshanam. Listening the pastime of Lord Krishna, whatever mood is there in your heart, this is your own property. You may have mood of parents, you may have mood of servant, you may have mood of friends, you may have mood of beloveds, whatever you are. The environment of your mind, it is your own property. On which mood you are getting the highest interest, that is your own mood. So, listening all this very nice sweet leelas, everything is full of sweetness. So, listening all this leelas or reading, maybe you have no scope to listen. Maybe you are staying in the Chile, maybe you are staying in the USA, in the UK, or in such place where it is not possible to listen about Lord Krishna, to listen the pastime of Lord Krishna. You are not in such place. You don't have such association. Then you are reading. Whenever read, don't read like a story. You must have the Shraddha. Whatever I told yesterday. You must have the Shraddha. When you are reading or listening or anything, then you are getting a desire to be like them. And the very nice portion of this sloka is Natra shastram najuktincha. I don't want to hear anything. I know I am not qualified. I know I have no devotion. I don't know what Shastra said about the quality. I just want Lord Krishna. You know, one day, in Jagannath temple, they every day make Jagannath wear a new dress. New means every day. They used to change the dress of Jagannath. And there are many types of pandas, pujaris are there, who are decorating Jagannath or wearing Jagannath dresses. They are very special. They called Sringari, who used to do Sringar. One day, other used to decorate, and the main Sringari, he used to, do supervision. He used to stand in the front of Jagannath and he used to see everything is going well or not. One day he noticed the cloth of Jagannath little bit torn. Hey, which dress of Jagannath you gave to the Lord? Change it. They changed the dhoti. Next day, again it was torn. Third day, again it was torn. They changed the dhoti. Then the Sringari, he started to think something is going wrong here in the temple. I should see this. Throughout the day, Jagannath used to stay in front of many devotees, so nothing is possible in front of others. After the Shayan, sleeping of Jagannath, something is taking place here. So I should observe after the sleeping of the deity. At night he came, after closing the door. He was waiting on the main gate of temple, the Simhodwar. Then after some time, he could listen the sound of ankle bell. Chum, 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 chum. Yes. Now nobody is there in the temple. Then where from this sound is coming? My realization is right. Something is going wrong in the temple after the sleeping. He was just trying to understand. Then he noticed the sound is coming closer to the door. He just hid him besides the lion, big lion, If you go to the Jagannath temple, you shall see in the two sides of the door there is two lions, model of lion is there. That's why it is called Simhodwar, means the door named with lion. Then the door automatically opened. Door is opening. Then he saw very slowly Jagannath himself, the deity himself, is coming out from this door. We used to see deity has no legs, no hand, but after all the deity is walking. What is going on here? Very slowly he came out. He gave a glance to the right. He gave a glance to the left. Is there anybody seeing? He saw everything. Because the model of the lion cannot hide anything to the vision of Jagannath. but he wanted to show his glory of devotees to the world. Then in the Leela, in the pastime, practically, he could not see anything. Then he started to run. Then the Shivait, the Pujari who followed the Jagannath, and after crossing the city area, then they entered in a village. And there was a field, cultivating field of eggplant. There was a story. There was a teenage girl, her age was 16 only. And she offered her love, her body, her mind to the lotus feet of Jagannath. But in his house, his father was a farmer, and her mother was a housewife. So the girl used to stay in the house, in the family, and due to the culture, she had no scope to express her love for Jagannath because parents were dead. She used to feel shy. This was the only place. In the midnight, just before early morning, she used to go to the farm, collect eggplant, means bringal, and she used to bring those in the house. And after that, in the morning, her father used to take these bringals to the market and sell. This was the source of income of that family. But here, in the field, in the cultivation field, nobody was there. This was her only scope to express her love for Jagannath. She was singing song of Geet Govindam, and she was offering her love. She was crying. Her eyes was full of tears. She was crying and praying that, "Oh Jagannath, I am a very fallen soul. I am a very fallen servant of you. Will you accept my love? I offered my everything to your lotus feet. Will you accept this fallen thing, very tiny thing?" And Jagannath was also, responding. He came here in the field, and he was also dancing, surrounding that girl, and Jagannath was also. Please, I want to take one call, okay? Joy I am back. It is Prabhupada Nishit Kumar Goswami, my teacher of Vaishnava Darshan. So he was calling, so I could not avoid the call. So then Jagannath, he was also responding. He was dancing surrounding that girl, but the girl could not see Jagannath because of his complexion and because her eyes were full of tears. After some time, when in the temple, the pujari was opening the door, Jagannath at once came back to the temple. The pujari came back and started to think, what should he do? Then she went to the king of Puri. In the morning, king asked him, "It is in so morning, is there any special news?" "Yes, there is a very special news for you." "What?" "Listen, you arranged everything. You arranged everything for Jagannath. May you are offering lots of, Naivedya. You have given lots of gems, diamond, emerald, many things. Glorious, gorgeous, dresses. You are doing everything. After all, your Jagannath used to come out from the temple." The king replied, "Is it possible Jagannath comes out?" "Yes, I have seen it. He fall in love with a girl." "No. Did you take marijuana?" "No. Please believe me. It is fact. I can show you." Next day, the king saw everything with the pujari, and when Jagannath came back to the temple, then they followed the girl and reached to the house of that girl. The pujari called the father of this girl, "Lay, come here. The king of Puri has came here." At once the person came and did obeisances to the king. Then he told, "Listen, your daughter saved me. Jagannath accepted your daughter's love. So you don't need to do any farming, you don't need to do any other job. Come to the temple, and at the night your girl will be there with Jagannath ji, and then they let them do their love." Still today, the family, they used to sing Git Govindam in the temple. If you able to enter in the temple, then you shall see before the sleeping of Jagannath, some people singing Git Govindam just in the temple, just on the right side of the door of Garbhagriha, in which room Jagannath stays. At the night you shall see them. Traditionally, that family has been doing the Shiva still today. So that girl had no idea about Shastra, that girl had no idea about mantra, that girl had no idea about etc. and etc. But listening that Git Govindam, she got the eagerness to be like Shakti of Lord Krishna, and he started to love Jagannath ji, who is the form of Lord Krishna. Natra shastram najuktincha. If you have the strong eagerness to have love for Lord Krishna, then you shall do everything. Your eagerness will give you more eagerness. The question is there, how can one increase the eagerness? Your small eagerness will give you deep eagerness. It will be more deeper, it will be more deeper, it will be more deeper. So this is also a practice. If you have the Shraddha, if you can believe without any doubt that all descriptions given by Shastra, the scriptures are fact, right, there is no doubt, then you shall get the eagerness. And your small eagerness will give you greater eagerness, more and more and more and more and more. This is the way. But you must be free from all aparats. Keep yourself free from all aparats. If aparat touches you, then you shall miss everything. If aparat touches you, you shall lose everything. So stay far from aparat. You must know about aparat. When, yes, tomorrow I shall describe you about adhikaris, then you shall understand all adhikaris used to know about scriptures and shastra. For reading, choose the original books, not commentary. Don't read any commentary. See the original book, read original books and the translation. If you don't have idea of Sanskrit, then read the only translation. And if you, if your vision is not clear, then meet bona fide person. Don't meet any devotee. Because if you ask the road to a blind person who is showing himself a good looking person or can see very well, so that then you shall be, out of the road, proper road. There are many persons who has false ego that I know everything, but generally the person has no idea. So if you follow, if you ask questions to such person, that person will misguide you. Don't do this. Don't do this. If you want to follow commentary, just read a translation of commentary of Goswamis. Don't read any description from other person. This is the good idea. My father and Sri Gurudeva, Prabhu Madan Gopal used to say, read original books. Don't read article. This is very much important. Don't read article. Read original book, the original sloka, the translation of sloka, and if you want to follow commentary, read only the translation of commentary of Goswamis. This is very much important. Jai Nitai, this is all for today. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Goshitanatmanande, Hare Hare.